Good. What company are you with, Steve?
I'm sorry, it was talking. What'd you say?
What company are you with?
Big Daddy Signs.
Ah, nice to have you.
Thank you. Nice to be with you.
You're a fairly new customer. I don't think I've ever met you. I'm Dave. It is really nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you too.
Really nice to meet you. So yeah, this show we got Nelly. Nelly's going to teach us about Facebook marketing and advertising. I'm super excited about it because it's funny. Nelly and I were talking, I don't know, a week or two ago, and like I love what I do. Like somehow websites and search engine optimization and content, like in Google Maps, like man, that's my jam. That's what I love to do. And you talk about Facebook marketing or advertising, I'm like, oh my God, like everything in my body just turns off. Like I actually was doing onboarding with somebody on Nelly's team, and we pulled up my Facebook account and it's banned. Like I can't even advertise in it. But I remember like I have somebody in my company who's handling it because I don't even understand that stuff. Like it just drives me bonkers, right? So the fact that Nelly loves it and he knows what he's doing, like praise the Lord, right? So Nelly, you can just start presenting. Oh, I better make you as a presenter, so let me do that. But we usually have people kind of streaming in here, so I'll make you a co-host here. Here we go.
Dave, I will tell you that Nelly's been doing my Facebook stuff, and amounted in the last 12 months for about $500,000 of my revenue. So
nice. Yeah. So we created an ad today, a couple ads that when people show up to Nashville, right, Nelly, if they hit the airport and then they're within a mile of the hotel, they can see our Collaborate Facebook ads, right?
Correct. So we're going to 1 mile radius from the huge convention, a 5 mile radius from the huge convention, 1 mile radius from the airport. Anybody flowing through there within 3 days before, they will see these videos.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. And that's branding. So there's different types of marketing, right? Like sometimes people just need to know your brand. Like we're working with a new company and they're a skincare product company. Well, like that's a super competitive industry. Well, they need to get their brand out there more than anything because people are already searching for, skincare and creams and stuff like that. Right. But, and that's kind of what we're doing for the marketing in Nashville is brand. We just want people to say, hey, I'm Dave and Travis, and we introduced our team and kind of showed some of the stuff we're going to be doing in the booths and the giveaways. But it's just like an introduction. So we're not even really selling them anything. We're just like, hey, and that way when they walk around and they see our booth and they see our logo, they're like, wait a minute, I saw those guys, right?
Exactly. There are also multiple benefits to that. And it's that we can retarget those people with an actual conversion offer. We can create audiences on those people that consume that content. We can create lookalikes on the people that consume that content. So it helps us generate better results whenever you do decide to actually generate leads. So,
well, I didn't even think about retargeting. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah. Retargeting is great marketing for sure.
Awesome. So whenever you guys are ready, I'll share my screen and get started. You just let me know, David.
Yeah.
Can you just say those things again? I mean, that was like brilliance, all the things you said. So
yeah. So basically with a brand awareness ad, multiple things are happening. Facebook is collecting information because they're seeing who are the type of people that are actually consuming the content. We can tell Facebook to create lookalike audiences like the people that watch the video. We can straight up retarget those people that did watch the video with an offer. So it is data collection, making the algorithm smarter and giving us audiences to then retarget with an offer. So that it's more than just getting someone to come to you and see who you are. We're actually strategically collecting data to use in the future with it.
Following us around. Sometimes it's good, right? Sometimes it's not good. Like, yeah, I should turn my phone off or throw it in the other room. But we just bought a dog the other day. And I don't want to say that out loud because I don't want to see dog advertisements on Facebook. Like, I don't want to
probably see it as soon as you get off this call.
It drives me nuts, right?
For sure, man. And also Facebook knows, because if you look for anything dog related, and you like did multiple searches, now Facebook knows because those websites have pixels on them. So Facebook knows that you went to those websites. So if anyone's running ads for products in that niche or industry, you will see those ads. So it's all, that's why your attention is the currency, right? Essentially. So
cool. I'll let you share your screen. Mike
Awesome.
Maharis, what's up, my man? It's awesome to see you on here. I know your screen's not on, but just got to give you a shout out.
What up, Dave? Stoked to be on live today.
Sweet. I know I talked to you like 2 days ago, man. This is fantastic. Twice in 1 week.
awesome. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So today, guys, we're going to talk about Facebook ads do's and don'ts. My goal today is to share as much information as possible to let you guys come up with a solid strategy and to let you guys see where most people go wrong with ads and how we can go right with ads. So I hope this basically to deliver a ton of information here. So before I get started, I want to let you introduce myself. Who is Nelly, right? I am a father. I have a son named Enzo and Abel. You can see them here. I'm also a husband. This is my wife in the picture. I love to spend time with my family. I can fall asleep anywhere. Like in my wife's family, they call me like the sleeper because at every event I can fall asleep. I'm also the owner of a marketing agency, Nelly is Marketing, where we have 24 plus full-time team members. And I am the owner of Palm Beach Epoxy. This is a home service epoxy flooring company that I acquired from a client about 1 year and 9 months ago. And I love marketing, branding, and everything business and marketing is one of my passions. And I'm always looking to get better in everything that has to do with marketing, learning new tricks, and everything business related as well. So that's my passion. That's what fuels me.
And I love that that's your passion, because my passion is not Facebook marketing. Praise the Lord, brother.
And honestly, if I could have my way, that's probably what I would do, is just run Facebook ads. Like that's really what I love, is looking at data and doing that.
Nice. Nice.
And I'm here to help elevate the home service industry. So at this point, I've been able to generate some success with our own home service company. We have generated success for a little over 85 companies right now. And now I'm looking to bring all of that experience, all of that knowledge, and basically implement it into a system to help other companies do the same. So I'm going to go into detail on this here, right? So first thing is we want to identify what are the common marketing problems that home service companies face. Number one, usually their word of mouth dries up, right? Most people have word of mouth as a form of lead generation. However, it's not consistent. You can get 3 referrals this week, or you may not get a referral for a month. So when you're looking to hire crews, keep crews busy, add more crews, grow the company, word of mouth is simply not enough. It is the best type of marketing you can have, but it's simply not enough. Another issue we hear all the time is that people don't want to work, right? Some companies say they struggle to actually find people that want to work for them and with them. Another issue is that they are currently running paid ads, but they're not working. They're losing money every month. They're not actually getting a return on the ad spend that they are putting out into the platforms. Their website's not converting. They have a website that's not strong enough. That's where David would come in and could help you guys. And they also have shared leads, right? They work with Angie's List, Home Advisor, and other platforms that is basically turns marketing into a race to the bottom, because you have the lower ticket homeowners or people that aren't necessarily looking for quality, but they're just looking for the best price. They go into the shared lead platforms, and then that lead goes to 5 other contractors in your area, and it becomes a game of who can get to them the fastest and who can do it the cheapest. So that's another issue that most home service companies
That's
have.
one of my biggest pet peeves, man. Like shared leads. Oh, those are the worst.
Yep. Yeah, and if you cancel them, they'll call you every week forever too.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
They'll retarget you for life.
Yeah, they're really good at that.
Yeah.
And not enough people know who you are. You just haven't, you don't have enough brand awareness. You haven't been, no one in the city. Most people don't know who you are, essentially. Now, I did want to ask, has anyone here tried running Facebook ads before?
I have.
You have, okay. David, okay. Have you, Steve?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Who's still running ads right now?
I am.
Mike, you are, okay.
Yep, I am too.
And have any of you stopped running ads?
I have stopped.
Why did you stop, Steve?
The ROI was terrible.
Okay, awesome. Were you generating enough volume of leads? Or you weren't converting them? Were you not generating leads? What was the root cause?
We were generating the leads. They actually, I remember the last time we did it, we were actually able to create a small quote form for the customer. And I think we got 40 or 50 of them in a 2-week period, and not one closed.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to talk about that. Thank you for sharing that, Steve.
Not a
Anybody
problem.
still running them with success right now?
Excuse me?
Is anyone still running Facebook ads with success right now?
No,
Well,
not our company.
We are in Collaborate. With Collaborate, we are not we don't do Facebook ads for our service-based business,
Okay.
but for Collaborate, I mean, we paid somebody a ton of money to figure it out and dial it in for us, but it's nothing I understand or know how to do.
Understood. Okay, awesome. So that's good to hear. I know you're getting good numbers there. I know we spoke about that, so that's awesome. So the common conclusion is Facebook ads do work, right? There are a lot of variables that go into it. I'm not saying it works 100% of the time. That would be unrealistic to say. But when you understand all the different things that go into it, you can really maximize the chance of making them work for you. So the first thing you want to look at is the campaign type. Like David was saying earlier, you can run ads literally just to create brand awareness, and you can spend money and never generate a lead. So some people start from the beginning with the wrong campaign type. There are like 20 different types of campaign that you can run on Facebook, and there's only one type of campaign that's going to generate you leads. That's a lead generation campaign. So I've seen a lot of people make that first mistake right there, and it's the fact that they're looking for leads, but they're actually running the wrong type of campaign, and Facebook just does not generate leads. And also, depending on the type of campaign that you pick, Facebook will charge you accordingly. For example, you can reach 6 times as many people with a brand awareness campaign as you can with a lead generation campaign, right? So what I like to do is layer multiple different types of campaigns that work with each other, that feed each other to maximize our lead generation campaign. So you always want to be doing brand awareness simultaneously with your actual lead generation campaign, because this is what's going to improve the results, improve the quality of the people coming in, etc. So the first thing we want to look at is the campaign type. Number 2 is some people have targeting issues, right? Depending on the type of business that you have to know how to target. What I mean by that, if you have a national product or service, and it's something you can sell to the entire country, you can really dial in on exactly who you're looking for, because we have 300 million people that we can narrow down from. When you have a home service company, you may have 500,000 people in a 50-mile radius, 1 million people. Therefore, you have to be very careful how much you try to narrow down your targeting, because Facebook may not have enough people that match those exact characteristics, and then it won't generate you the results that you're looking for. So depending on whether you're local or whether you're national, or depending on how far is the area that you cover, you want to either get very granular on the targeting or not get granular at all, and only do like top layers like homeowners, this much income in this area. Keep it simple, right?
Well, let's do an example for like Christmas lighting, because I'm going to pay you to do a Christmas lighting campaign in Denver. Like, how would you target the right people?
Perfect. So age is number 1, right? An 18-year-old is probably not going to get Christmas lighting. So age is number 1. 2 is income level. Are they within the top 10% of the area, 25% of the area, right? Another one is, depending on the keywords that you use, the algorithm will also look at these keywords and place these ads in front of the right people based on those parameters. And then you want to go from there, depending on the volume, population, and all of that. But that's like the least we want to filter, but sometimes that's also the most we want to filter.
Okay.
So that's something there to keep in mind. Another thing is the ad creative quality, right? Facebook literally ranks your ad versus competitors. They want to see who has the better looking, most engaging images, who has the best looking, most engaging video, who has the copy that most people click show more on, right? What Facebook wants is they want attention. They want time on their platform. So whoever has the better assets that can keep that attention on the platform is favored by Facebook. So Facebook will make your ads cheaper to reach than your competitor simply because you have better content. You're bringing more eyeballs to the platform. You're ultimately bringing them more money. So they will favor you as a company and basically place your ads in front of higher quality leads, etc. So making sure that picture by picture, video by video, copy by copy, you are better than others out there is extremely important because Facebook is literally ranking you and helping you or hurting you based on this. So
Nelly, does that also include your organic content production too? Meaning like your page update frequency?
It definitely matters. We can generate the same number of leads whether you're posting or not. Organically, the reason you want to do organic is because it acts as like a secondary salesperson, right? A lot of people that see an ad may click on the page and they want to go see how legitimate your company is, right? Are you making posts every day? Do you look like you're busy? Or is this a brand new page with one post from 6 months ago? Like those things will either increase your lead quality, decrease it, build trust, push people away. So it's definitely important for that trust, know, and like factor, but it's not a variable when it comes to generating leads because we're technically paying Facebook to force our ads in front of people, whether they know who we are or not. But when they see the ad, depending on how deep they go into their research, you want to have all of that lined up to give them as much trust as possible. Did that answer your question, Mike?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So ad creative quality, super important. Ad fatigue is another one, right? A lot of people will run 1 or 2 ads, and 1 or 2 ads will fatigue very quickly in an area with 500,000 people, right? Because I mean, usually for $20 to $30, you can get your ads in front of 1,000 people. So you got to have enough variation. You got to keep an eye on how many times this ad is being seen. What's the performance of the ad? Because you can have an ad that works great and all of a sudden it fatigues, your campaign crashes, your results go out the window, and you're back to square one, figuring it out from scratch, right?
So do you know the ad fatigues when the cost per conversion starts going up?
When it starts going up, you want to look at the frequency. The frequency along with the cost per lead going up tells you whether it's fatiguing or not. If it's being seen 10 times and the cost per lead is rising, it's getting burnt out. So what you want to do is have a series of ads. You want 5 to 6 images, 2 to 3 videos, 5 to 6 copies running simultaneously at all times that you are testing so you can cut out what's fatiguing, add more that's not fatiguing. That way you never crash, hit a wall. You're constantly optimizing, moving, and generating results and not waiting for an ad to fatigue. So that's important there. Also, ad formats and placements. Yep, go ahead, Mike.
Does that also kind of fall in line with your daily spend though? So like, if I understand right, your campaign level is kind of your overall objective. So campaign meaning lead generation. Your ad set then is your set of ads that are variated by copy and image, right? And then from there, your individual ads has their own, specific call to action, get a quote, call us, and so on, right?
So on the campaign level, that's where you would set like the budget, the targeting and all, and the budget and the campaign type. In the asset level, that's where you do your targeting. That's where you do like all the specifics of the campaign. And then the ad level is where you actually have the images, the copies, the videos, and all of that.
Got it.
Yep.
That always confuses me. So thanks for clarifying that.
No problem, man. No problem there. That's what I'm here for. The next thing is ad formats and placements, right? Many times we put a 16:9 video. Guess what? A 16:9 video can't be shown in the news feed. A 16:9 video, a 16:9 video may not be shown by Instagram, right? So you have to have formats that fit all the different placements that you will be running your ads on. So when your ads is on Instagram, it looks perfect on Instagram. If your ad is on Facebook Marketplace, it looks perfect on Facebook Marketplace. If your ad is on the sidebar, it looks perfect on the sidebar. So you want to have the formats for all these different types of placements. So it looks good everywhere and not chopped up, cut up, zoomed in, depending on where the ads is being seen. So that's important.
That's a really good point, Nelly, because I know in our Facebook ads for Collaborate, we have a couple ads that do really well, but I only have one format. I don't have another format. So I'm
What
probably
format is
missing, I'm probably missing out on a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There is, if you do it in Square, Square works on like 98% of the formats. So we like to stick to Square videos and images because it's pretty much, it's almost universal. So just something to keep in mind there.
Okay.
Awesome. Then it's how you allocate the budget, right? Which is goes kind of hand in hand with what Mike said. If you have a 200,000 people and you're spending $200 per day, you're going to burn that out pretty fast, right? So you setting your budget based on your goals, but also what your area can realistically produce is extremely important. And that comes more with experience, right? Like when you're playing with the Facebook Ads Manager, you understand like how much population you need to spend X amount, how many people see the ad after how many days are the ads being repetitive. And then depending on that, you may want to create more assets to stop fatigue. You may want to decrease your budget to keep the performance high. So your cost per lead doesn't go up extremely high, extremely fast because your ads are fatiguing. So understanding how much budget to run on these campaigns based on your goals, how many layers of types of campaigns you're running, how many ads you're running and what your population is also important. By rule of thumb, guys, I don't like to spend anything less than $50 per day for a local business. The reason being, a Facebook, the algorithm needs X number of budget in order to optimize, in order to learn, in order to pick up information at the rate that it needs for the algorithm to work with us. So you want to give it what it needs at a bare minimum. And what we found for small local businesses, you want to spend at least $50 a day. Anything other than that is going to hinder it because we're not spending the money fast enough. Everything's being delayed as it goes out, which is bringing us data in a much slower fashion, which just delays the whole process and delays you getting results. So that balance there is crucial.
What if you're running a national campaign? Is it still $50 a day?
You can go crazy. You can spend $50 a day. You can spend $1,000, we've spent $20,000 a day before on a national campaign. It's all in, you know, who are the types of, how many people are out there nationally that we can target?
Gotcha.
I love national campaigns for that reason. Like it makes our job easier. Just because we have so much more options, we can scale it much more aggressively and all of that.
Say,
Any
Nelly,
questions
with
for
local
that?
service,
Mike,
with
yes.
local service businesses, are you seeing CPLs kind of falling in that like $25 to $45 range is kind of a general expectation for your CPLs?
That's pretty accurate, man. About 3 years ago, we could get leads at like $7 to $10. That's pretty much almost impossible now. The cost to advertise has doubled or tripled. Like Facebook is charging 2 to 3 times more than they were. So most of our cost per lead is anywhere between like $25 to $45, $50.
The Google ads increase their
cost as well.
Their cost per lead as well, cost per click. Yeah, everything's gone up. They figured everybody else was raising prices.
They are
as well.
Yep. Awesome. Next one is algorithm changes, right? You have a certain campaign. There's so many different campaign structures you can do as well, right? Are your ads manual? Are they dynamic? How are they set up? How are you splitting the audiences? How are you placing what ads inside of what audiences? And sometimes there are certain structures that work really well. The algorithm changes and all of a sudden your ads crash and like that structure just does not work anymore, right? Think of it, for example, like 2 years ago, you used to be able to post a video on Facebook and the algorithm will get you way more views than it does today. Now it wants you to post a reel, not a video organically. So if you post a picture organically, I've noticed I get 10 times more traction than a video. But if you post a reel, the reel gets 5 times more traction than the picture. So understanding what the algorithm wants and working with that is crucial. These changes happen all the time, and that's where testing comes in, right? Just being plugged into sources that are up to date, that have an overview of many different types of campaigns, that can see patterns and see what's working here and bring that here. That's where that's important. And knowing how to test, how to think like the algorithm, and how to chase it until you find it again. So that's important too with Facebook ads. Also, another super important thing is the landing page quality, right? We can generate a great lead and then we send them to our website. Well, more than likely that lead won't convert, right? Because our website has a phone number. They can send us an email. They can opt in. There's an about us section. There's like 10 different things they can look at and get lost at, right? So what we want is you want a landing page that has one call to action. They can only do the one thing that you want them to do. That needs to be structured properly. targeting the pain points, agitating the pain points, showcasing the solution, logically explaining why you're the solution, and giving them an offer to opt in, right? So if your ads, we know how well an ad is performing based on the link click-through rate. How many people that see the ad actually click on the link to go to the next step? And then we see how well a page is performing by what is the conversion rate inside of that page, right? If it takes 20 people to get one person to opt in, that's a weak landing page. If it takes 8 people to get one person to opt in, that's pretty average, right? So knowing what your conversion rate is, just like you look at the metrics of the ads to see how they're performing, you want to look at the metrics of the page visitors to see how they're converting. Because sometimes we think we're not getting leads because the ads, Facebook ads aren't working, but the ads are working great. The problem is that people aren't converting at the next stage, right? So being able to monitor, test, and dial in your landing page, just like you dial in your ads, extremely important.
So how do we help them convert then?
Ask that one more time, Lee. Ask that one more time, Lee. Sorry.
I was saying, well, then how can we help them convert better?
Perfect. So now we do A/B tests on the landing page. Maybe we change the headline, right? Maybe this headline does not agitate the pain point enough, right? Maybe the call to action button is dug up somewhere and it's hard to find, right? Maybe we can add a pop-up before people try to get out saying, hey, don't forget, if you opt in now, we're giving you $100 off, right? So there are many things, just like we optimize the ads, there are many steps you can take to test. And then what you want to see is, okay, this version got 200 visitors. You have to put volume through it to really know the numbers. This version got 200 visitors. Which one got a higher conversion rate? This one got a 10%. This one got a 5%. Let's shut this down. Let's only use the 10%. And let's try to beat that with another version to try to get to 12, 15%. So you're constantly trying to beat your conversion, just like you're trying to beat your ads. That's where the constant like inputting the time, analyzing metrics, making adjustments, A/B testing, seeing the data, and adjusting back comes into play. Everything that we do needs to be data driven, right? Sometimes we launch ads and we're like, man, this is not like, here's what we do, for example. When we launch 5, 6 different images, we try to make all of them look very different, like from the design to the types of images, etc. And what we think is not going to perform ends up getting leads at half the cost as something that we thought was going to perform. So we don't want to use our judgment, what we think looks great. We want to let the market tell us what they think looks great. And we, based on what they want to see, we cut out what they don't want to see, and we add more of what they want to see. And this is where we sometimes have to have a conversation with our clients, right? And it's like, hey, I know you really want this kind of images out there. However, these kind of images are getting us leads at half the cost. Do you rather just follow the numbers, or do you want to pay extra and you're okay with it just because you want your branding to be a certain way? And that's where we can have that discussion. But ultimately, we want the numbers to drive all of our decisions.
So this is a constant testing, if you will.
Yep, exactly. It never stops. And even when you think you're great, the algorithm will hit you and catch you off guard. So and things will change. So you want to constantly test and stay on top of it. And that's where our reporting comes in, right? Like we can see what all the metrics are daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly. We can see patterns. We can see if we're going up, if we're going down, and based on what's happening and what the data is telling us, we're making adjustments to try to drive it up. And that's how we can constantly produce leads at the lowest cost possible, right? So maybe David may be able to tell you, his leads are usually like $25, $30. But in the last month, we've been able to get them at like $18, $19. That's like some of the best cost per lead he's ever had. And we've been running the ads for pretty much over a year already. Just different ads. We've been optimizing the entire time. But that's the difference between keeping a campaign running for 3 years with great results, or having a quick 2-month win and then you're done.
Yeah, you know what's funny, Leah? Like with Collaborate, we created a whole bunch of different video ads, just like Nelly said. And I had this one really cool ad. It had fire and all sorts of stuff. And it was the lowest converting ad. It was terrible. But one where I just sit down and talk, it was the highest converting and the lowest cost per lead. So clearly that one won out. And then we stuck our money in that direction. But you just got to keep testing.
Got to keep testing. And David, sorry.
I say with one thing with Nelson here, when he does my Facebook ads, if something isn't working in just 3 days, they'll notice it, and and Dakota in his office will call me and say, hey, just wanted to let you know your ad isn't converting like we hoped it would. We're going to change it around a little bit. And all of a sudden it starts working again. And so, you know, I'm averaging probably, I'm in a very rural area. I mean, I'm in about an 80,000 people radius of our city here. And, you know, if I said I wanted to spend $100 a day, I don't think I could, because there's not enough people to see the ads. But I'm still getting, like, we do our floor coating business, and I'm still getting an average about 35 leads a week. And last year they did our Christmas lights for us, and it was half our Christmas light business. So.
Wow.
Awesome. Thank you, David. Yeah, it works. These are just all the little layers to it, right? It's like someone that doesn't, I don't know if you guys, I know epoxy, that's an industry I'm in, but it's like the guy that acid etches, right? He's like, I'll just go buy a Home Depot kit. I'll just pressure wash the driveway and I'll sprinkle some flakes on there with no top coat. That floor will fail in like 6 months versus somebody that grinds, uses industrial grade materials. They fully broadcast. They use a solid polyaspartic top coat, and it's a much different floor. They're both epoxy floors, but they are completely different floors. It's very similar. And then you want to test and optimize, right? That's why you want to have all these different kinds of assets, right? For example, when David said that his video sitting on the desk generated you more leads, what I would do, David, I would create 3 more variations of me sitting in front of a desk. Because when that video fatigues, you have 2 more that you know are a style that people like in the area that can keep the baton running, right? So you want to now create more assets like the ones that you know work well. And you also want to throw something different to test, to see if you can beat that video where you're sitting down. Maybe you go to the city and you're walking around with cars moving in the background. Maybe you're spinning at a park talking, right? Whatever that is. If that doesn't beat it, you can cut it off. But if it beats it, you just found another way now to like extend the longevity of the campaign and potentially drop the cost per lead as well. So that's where the testing, optimizing, staying on top of it, tracking and measuring comes in. Another thing is high competition, right? When we're running Facebook ads, let's say you are a Christmas light company. You are not just competing with Christmas light companies out there. Epoxy companies, power washing companies, Christmas light companies, HVAC companies, roofing companies, solar companies, they are all paying Facebook for that same space and that same homeowner's bandwidth, newsfeed, right? So if every time you go through 4 posts, you see an ad, and there are 7 different companies and 7 different industries out there, every 30 something posts is when your ad will be seen. If your ad is not high quality, they may see it every 60 posts. If you have 2 other epoxy guys out, a Christmas light out there that have better marketing, they may see your ad every 80 posts that they scroll through, right? So all that is competition. We're paying per eyeball. The more demand on the eyeball, the more Facebook is going to charge us, which is where it becomes extremely important to be better than your competition, right? Because you want Facebook to favor you. You want to have the best data. You want to have the best structure and the best assets to, even though it's competitive, be at the top of the competition.
So does that mean that the more eyeballs, the more money that needs to be spent?
Absolutely. And eyeballs get more and more expensive based on competition. So an eyeball might cost me 2 cents in David Hamill's area, but in Phoenix, it may cost me 10 cents. So even though David's ad is performing just as well as David Kaminsky's ad, David Kaminsky is going to pay 5 times more for that lead.
But that's because of population.
That's because of competition and just population and what the eyeballs are worth. Exactly.
Just so you know, I'm starting to see Facebook ads for Christmas lighting in Phoenix here. And it must be that I've been talking to Nelly about Christmas lighting and my phone's listening to me. I've literally, in the last couple of days, started seeing Facebook ads for Christmas lighting. I think it's hilarious.
Not only that, but they probably know you're a homeowner. You're in the age group that they're targeting. You're in the area that they're targeting. And Facebook knows that you've been to some Christmas light websites. For Facebook, you're qualified. So you're going to see those ads. Exactly.
Yep.
And then all of this, guys, when all these things are off or not aligned, it will always translate to paying too much per lead. Which
Can
is
I
never
ask a question?
Yes.
So you kind of threw me off here with, so when we have separate niches, right? Like Christmas lights. So you literally just said something I had no clue about. So the competition is no matter who's around you, it's not just per niche.
Correct. It's not just per niche. It's who is targeting that same person.
Wow.
Because that person is going to see all those ads, all those different niches. So the more home service companies are out in your area, the more you're going to pay for that eyeball period.
Mm.
And that's just a fact of business. There's nothing we can do about that, but just try to maximize those numbers. Absolutely. I think I lost you guys here. Can you guys see my screen again?
Yeah, we can see it.
Perfect. Okay. Any questions here on the issues with Facebook ads, things that maybe you've experienced some of this, you have some questions on, etc.
I'm kind of new to the ad fatigue.
Okay.
No, this is fantastic information. Yeah, I mean,
It's a lot.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it-
it's
it-
great because it opens my eyes too. Like, I have somebody within my company who's been handling Facebook. And then I let them go, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, they stopped working for us. And I've just kind of let it run. And I think we hit ad fatigue because our cost per lead is going up. And then I see right on here, I don't have different ad formats. I only have one ad format. So I'm missing out on a ton of stuff. Like, this is awesome. I got some stuff to do right now.
Thank you. That's the whole point, man. Awesome. That's good. Awesome. Now, let me show you what can happen with Facebook ads. So this is a screenshot we received from a client yesterday. This guy closed a $75,000 epoxy flooring job yesterday.
Nice.
10 days before that, he closed another $10,000 epoxy job, right?
Okay.
Here's another one, 1,000 square feet, $10,000 starting August 1st. Here's another one. This was just this week. This is from literally yesterday. This guy has closed $61,000 in just this week, right? Here's this is actually from David here in our group, right? Where he said he got 10 leads from us today, $21,000 closed in one day from 4 leads from last week, right? And then here's another person. We started in January. This was a very cold month. And within 3 weeks, he had already made 30. He was on track to get to 30 to 40K. So this is what can happen when you execute it properly. And I'm going to show you guys what it takes to get these kind of results. First thing you want to do, guys, when you're running a Facebook campaign, you want to start with a customer avatar. You want to do all this research before you do anything. What motivates these people? What are their pain points? How do they talk about these pain points? What words do they use to describe these pain points? When they do find a solution, how do they express that the solution changed their life? What kind of benefit did the solution bring to them? You want to understand all of that language. You want to understand all of this information so you can start crafting things based on this here. That's number one. 2 is you want to understand all their pain points, right? So what are the things that get them to take action? For example, somebody that wants a Christmas lights, right? It may be a sentimental to them, right? Maybe they want to create an experience for their grandkids. That's one. You can like hone down on just that angle, right? So you want to understand all of these pain points and crack and generate angles for all of these pain points so you can speak to everyone that's in your area, and whatever their motivation is, you have something for that person. Your offer is extremely important, right? What is your offer? Do you have a better offer than your competitors? Do you have an offer at all? Right? Or are you just very generic, opt in to learn more, right? Or what is the benefit of opting in? So having that clear is very important as well.
Can you give me an example of a really high quality offer rather than learn more?
Yep. So you can say, for example, get $250 off and a free squeegee to clean your garage. That's way better than just opt in to get a price, right?
Gotcha.
So you can play with different offers. David.
And I'll tell you that I usually do like $200 off a garage, two car garage, or $300 off a 3-car garage floor coating, and almost never do I actually give it because they never even remember to ask you about it. But when you come out to do the estimate,
Yeah.
So true. Yeah, so true.
almost
So true.
never.
Yep. And you can always put on the thank you page, hey, to redeem it, take a screenshot and show it to the installer or whatever, right? And most people won't take the screenshot. Most people won't show the picture, and it frees you of liability because they didn't follow instructions, right?
Mhm.
So something to think about. Copies, right? You want to have all these angles, all these pain points. You want to have copies for all these pain points. You want to call these people out. You want to agitate what they're feeling. You want to show them how you can bring a solution. You want to demonstrate why you're the best choice for that solution. And you want to give them a call to action, what you want them to do next, right? So having these copies dialed in with all these angles is extremely important. Just like you're testing, you want to see which angles work best in your area. You may see that people respond to all the pain points. Great. You may see that people only respond to 2 pain points. Great. You can cut out the other pain points and focus on those 2, right? So having the copy variations is extremely important. Same thing with the images. You want to have high quality creatives that are edited for you, and you want to use these creatives based on these different pain points. If you're a Christmas light company, maybe a picture can be your grandkids running to you with your home in the background with the Christmas lights. Another one can be you with your family sitting inside of your home in Christmas. Another one can be somebody actually on top doing all the work, and it looks like they're sweating and having a hard time. It's like, this is why you don't want to
falling off a ladder, right? Going to the
someone
hospital.
falling off the ladder. Exactly. So you want to have all these different angles, just like you have with the copies to match the copies. You want videos as well, right? You want videos showcasing the work. You want videos talking about your company, what separates you. You want to have videos showing them the work being done so they can visualize it and see what it takes. You want to create these different videos as well. And this is where you want to create scripts for these videos so you can follow these scripts and stay on point. So all the way from the copies to the images to the videos, they are well structured through the pain points, through multiple angles that you're going to test and pull information from. Having the right campaign type, like I mentioned earlier, is crucial, right? Like the campaign we're running for David at the huge convention, it's about brand awareness, generating eyeballs to get people to just walk to the booth and know who David is. That's not going to generate us any leads, right? Some people run that campaign thinking that it'll get them leads. They'll spend $1,000 and not get a single lead. So having the right campaign type is crucial as well. You want to constantly be A/B testing. You have all these different assets running out into the world. If you have an image that is just weak and the numbers are low and weak behind it, and you let this image continue to run, you are literally burning your money. Because if this image is getting you ads for $20, but this one's getting you ads for $60, for every 120, you're going to get 2 leads here where you will get 6 leads here. So the faster you can filter out that weak asset, the lower your cost per lead will be, the higher you can keep your volume coming for longer. You want to use that
Saving
information.
money, I love it.
Go again, David. I'm sorry.
I just got to say, saving money, man. I love it.
You got to love it, man. It never hurts, right? Next thing is optimizations. Optimizing based on this data, right? What interests are working the best? What types of creatives are working the best? What types of copies are working the best? What type of campaign structure is working the best? And using all of that data you're getting back to make those right adjustments and keep things going properly. The wrong optimization can increase your cost per lead. The right optimization can significantly decrease your cost per lead. So knowing how to optimize is crucial, right? And we have like very strict standard operating procedures for that. Like when the cost per lead is not within this range that we wanted, look at this video, look at this interest, look at these copies, look at these images, draw the numbers on each, compare, cut, add, or create. And that's just like an ongoing process that never ends. And that's
what is a wrong optimization though?
A wrong optimization is that this image is weak and you like it and you add more images like that and you didn't follow the data telling you that was the image you were supposed to eliminate. And you went off of what you thought was great and now you did that, right? Or you say, oh, let me get granular on my interests and let me add more things to filter people out. And now you don't have enough people because you're not aware of the population. And now Facebook's not even delivering your ads. And now you're just wasting your money. Okay. So those are examples of wrong optimizations, for example. And guys, all of this cannot be achieved without a solid CRM and automations. Super important. I know a few companies that they want to run everything through like a all written. That's a huge issue, right? You want to have everything automated. You want all these leads coming into your CRM. You want text messages going out to them instantly. So when you call these leads, they're educated and expecting your call. If they don't pick up the phone, you want to have automations in place. Essentially what we do within 3 days, we have 3 ladies on our team that call leads for my company and about 8 or 9 of our other clients. And what we notice is that after day 3, 12 phone calls and 3 text messages later, we have gotten 80+% of the leads on the phone. You're not going to get 80% of the leads on that first conversation. So that's having impressive. A system with automations and text messages and trigger tasks to get you to do all those follow-ups. It's the difference between losing money and getting a 30x ROI, guys. And honestly, most of the people that I see fail with Facebook ads is literally because they don't have that dialed in. They're getting the
So
leads.
I'm gonna expand here real quick, Nelly. Angela and I were at a show here in Phoenix 3 or 4 weeks ago, and one of the guys on stage was called Sexy Sales Summit. But one of the guys on stage says between 8 and 12, or maybe it was 8 and 20, that's how many times you got to keep reaching out to people. And the majority of the sales come between reaching out to them 8 and 12 or 8 and 20 times. So like he's saying, you know, you got to keep calling them, texting them, messaging them, whatever you need to do. They were interested at one point. They need to keep seeing you. I also was watching an AI, presentation not too long ago, and it was talking about putting an AI chat bot on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your website, and let the AI converse with the potential client or customer. And that was upping the opt-in rate and the leads by 70%. So Nelly's absolutely nailed it right here, because the more you automate and the more you have a solid CRM behind you, the more successful you're going to be, hands down.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And our lower performing clients versus our top performing clients, that's literally what separates them, is the execution of that process done. So what we've learned is, even though our job is to generate leads, we've had to learn how to coach people on this process, how to train them on this process, and essentially have this as part of our service when you get paid ads. Is because getting the leads and not converting them means, like, that's not good for anybody, right? You're not making money. You're not going to stick with us for long. So we've had to really get involved, dial that process in, and bring it to our clients. And like I said, I test this with my own company, and what we do, 80% of the conversations, 80% of the leads turn into conversations, 40 to 50% of those conversations turned into very well qualified estimates based on that. So basically one out of three leads becomes an estimate, and we close about 1 out of 6. But that's like following this process to the T. You want to have a solid sales funnel, like I described, right? You don't want to send people to your website. You don't want to send people to a funnel with multiple call to actions, where it's hard to find the button that you want them to do, where it's kind of confusing and the messaging is not 100% aligned with the ads and what they saw. So making sure that you have a solid sales funnel, a solid landing page, another word for it, is extremely important as well. And you want to do KPI tracking and optimizations. Just like you want to track the performance of your landing page, just like you want to track the performance of your ads, you want to track the performance of your sales process. How many leads does it get to have a conversation? How many conversations does it take to book an estimate? How many estimates does it take to close a job? And then working backwards to get those numbers tighter and tighter and tighter, because ultimately the tighter those numbers are, the better your ROI will be. And when we're getting the best cost per lead possible and you're closing the highest percentage possible, that's when we hit max ROI. And that's when we can say, hey, David, I know you have 5 million people out there in Phoenix, man. How many people can you truly handle? And then we can just reverse engineer the numbers. It takes us $250 to get a customer. I can handle 30 people. Perfect. So you want 30 people. Our new budget is going to be $7,500. So we got to establish those numbers to then scale and go where we want to go. So all of that ties into the Facebook ads. I know that's like sales process related. This is automations, but all of these are solid components to ensuring that to bring, to have success with Facebook ads. And then, the sales process tracking and optimizations. And that is it, guys. I want to open it up for questions and to help you guys as much as I can.
What you talked about CRM and automations. Is there a certain CRM you like best, or they all pretty much work the same?
Mostly are, honestly, we use Go High Level. We love Go High Level. There are other CRMs that are very comparable. Honestly, it's about the strategy. It's not about the software, because they're all a blank canvas. It's about what message goes out when the lead comes in, what text message goes out when they don't pick up the phone, what task is created for you to call them back. It's the strategy built within the CRM that's truly valuable.
Yeah. And if you have a good CRM, it'll integrate with Slack. Like, I know our sales team, they always get a message on their phone right on Slack as soon as somebody filled out a form, as soon as somebody's interested, so we can call them right away. You want to make sure you can integrate with all those automations.
For sure. Yep.
Anybody else
my
have any
feedback
questions?
is, my feedback is that none of us know how to do all this stuff. I mean, we can try to do it ourselves, and we'll do a really piss poor job of it. Or you hire somebody that knows what the heck they're doing. Like, I don't know SEO, that's why I use Dave. I don't have a clue how to do these Facebook ads, that's why I use Nelson.
Yep.
People don't know how to do a garage floor, that's why they call me. You know,
Yep.
that's the way it works. Do what you do and do it really well, and hire out what you don't know well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, you can learn this stuff if you got a lot of time sitting around, but you're probably, you're more than likely, you're more beneficial spending your time in something that you're really good at.
For sure.
Running
Not
your
only
business.
that, but
You should go run your business, right?
like you said, it can be learned with a lot of time and practice, but you'll get to a point where do you really have the time to do it properly? Even though you know how to do it, you may want to delegate it just for the
Well, I mean,
benefits.
yeah, I don't even know what you charge, but let's say you charge, $500 a month. You're probably going to waste a hell of a lot more than $500 10 different times learning it yourself than just paying somebody who knows what they're doing, right?
Yeah. And the opportunity cost, right? If you get 20 leads and you close 5 jobs, or somebody can get you 50 leads and you close 12 jobs, you think you're saving, but you're really losing.
Yeah.
So all of that goes
Absolutely.
into account as well.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, Nelly, we look forward to hanging out with you next week in Nashville.
Absolutely.
David, you're going to be there. Angela's going to be there. I'm going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun, right, guys?
Lee will be there as well with me.
Oh, nice. It'll be nice to meet you in real life. That'll be great.
I know. So
all
can
right.
you give me a little overview, David, on what exactly Collaborate is?
Yeah. So Collaborate is, it's essentially SEO. We don't call it SEO because we do it differently. We've created networks of people in similar industries. So if you're like a roofer, we have dentists, we even have insurance companies like David here. We have a lot of pressure washers, window cleaners, a lot of epoxy floor companies are in our networks. So Google loves more content than backlinks. A lot of SEO companies are like, we're building you backlinks, we're doing all this stuff. That's not the way we do it. We put content on your website first, and it's how we do our content. It's how we do blog posting, and it's how we surround your website with people in similar industries. What industry are you in, Leah?
I work with Nelly.
Oh, you're in
And-
marketing.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, like you guys are a marketing company. I'm a marketing company. If I put some content on my website and promote your marketing company, that's the best sort of promotion you can get online.
Absolutely.
So we've seen it with like even roofers, like and dentists, like, we had a team meeting over here this morning, and one of our dentists is showing up for, dentist near me search terms on Google, like literally in their maps and everything else. Because we've surrounded them with other dentists, and that's what Google loves. So we are mostly a content marketing company, but the big secret to our sauce is surrounding people with similar industries.
That's where your network becomes very valuable.
Yeah, and at the huge convention, I'm doing a presentation. If you guys come see it, like I'll show you, I could show up for a near me search term in Atlanta, Georgia, if I want, even though I'm in Arizona. So when you search, like a epoxy flooring company near me, it doesn't actually mean near me. And there's certain signals we give Google, and there's certain ways we write blog posts, and there's certain ways we do content. I'll show in Nashville exactly how I do it, but you can show up anywhere you want for a near me search term. It's gold, man. It is fantastic, because the near me search term is transactional. That's somebody like, oh man, I need somebody near me right now. Like I searched this morning, garage door repair near me. My garage door wasn't quite working right. And I know A1 garage door. I hope Tommy Mello never figures this out. I didn't call him. I called the guy close by, and I figured I went down to, found somebody cheaper, and but it's just simply a search term. So yeah, that's exactly what we do.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Had I known that, I would have shot you over a referral yesterday.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we'll work out referrals. We'll push some people your guys' way, and vice versa.
Sounds good.
That's why we're called Collaborate. We just love to work with other people, right?
Awesome.
That's awesome. Well, it's nice to meet you, and it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you too. I'm excited to meet you next week.
I'm excited. Yeah, me too.
You as well. I can't believe it's already, 6 days away?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's coming up quick. I know I'm flying in on Monday. You're going on Monday too, right, Angela? You're on mute. David, what day are you going in?
Wednesday.
Wednesday? Okay.
Going Sunday.
Oh, you're going Sunday. Yeah, make it a whole week. Nice.
We're showing up Tuesday night.
All right. All right.
I'm
Cool,
4
guys.
hours away, so I'm driving there with Lee. And I'm taking
Oh,
all
yeah.
my marketing material in the back of my truck. So
That's nice because I got to try to fit everything on an airplane. It's
Yeah.
not easy.
Oh, boy.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy. All
We
right,
have a booth
guys.
there too. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. as
Well, I hope your booth's close to ours. I have no idea where it's at. I'll have to look at the map, but it'd be nice if it's close.
We'll find you.
You know what? You know what? Why don't you print some stuff? We're doing a little business on this. Why don't you print some things that promote us, and we'll print some things. You print some things that we'll hand out to people to go see you, and vice versa. We'll print some things you guys have in your booth and tell them to come see us, and we'll push each other.
Do you
people.
have a template or a format that you want us? Do you have something already in place that we can like work off of, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, we have like this, just like a little flyer. We can give this to you guys to pass out. It talks about what we
Lee,
do.
can you please send us that file so we can create our version of it?
Sure. Yep. Yeah, print them out, get them at Vistaprint or whatever, and we'll put a stack of them in our booth and send people your way.
Awesome. We'll do the same.
Love it.
Cool, guys. God bless. Have an awesome day.
Thank you guys.
Everybody
have a great
have a
day.
safe
It was a
trip.
pleasure.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks. Angela, do you want to stay on?